Control the level of access that your team members, vendors, and customers have in JobTread. You can either give role-based access to tools and features based on the roles that they're assigned to, or you can provide individual users direct access to maybe specific jobs or documents. A role will grant access to records and features in JobTread. So we'll click plus role to create new roles for each type of internal user, such as your estimators, your project managers, office personnel, and more. Within each role, you can identify their permissions. So granting full administrative access will allow users to access every single part of JobTread, including all the settings and even the billing information. If a role does not have administrative access, you can specify their JobTread access below. The permissions in the Accounts section are going to dictate the visibility across the entire JobTread system. So a question to ask yourself is, can this role view or create and edit every customer in the system? Or would we like to provide direct access to only certain customer accounts? Now, the same question can be asked for vendors, locations, and jobs as well. All subsequent permissions and settings beneath this section will be limited by the account permissions. Now on to the Financials section. Remember, any of the financial permissions that you choose here will be limited to the accounts this role can access. So if you only allow this role to view jobs that they're given direct access to, then they will not be able to view financials for any other jobs, even if you choose the All option below. We'll first choose whether or not we'd like this role to view the Budget tab on Jobs. If they can view the Budget tab, by default, they will only be able to see the cost items, the cost groups, descriptions, and quantities. Cost and price information will only show if they're given access to view or edit the related documents. Therefore, providing access to customer orders and customer invoices will display price data on the Budget tab. View or edit access to the bid requests, vendor orders, and vendor bills will allow this role to see cost data on the budget. Now let's move into the Features section. Here we can specify permissions for each individual feature within the system and choose what level of detail the role can view, edit, and manage. The Export section lets you choose if the role is allowed to export data from the system. Next, the Custom Views section lets you choose the default custom data view that you would like this role to see whenever they access each of these tools. Custom data views are built and saved in each of the listed sections to ensure the most valuable data is organized and presented front and center for your users. Select from the default custom views or create your own and save your views for your team. After selecting the default views here, your users can switch between different custom views within each tool as needed. Use the Portal section to choose whether you would like to share the contact information for users assigned to this role on either the customer or the vendor portal by default. Maybe you'd like the project manager's contact information to be shown, but not your field employees to be shown to your customers. Lastly, you can choose default notification preferences for this role. After selecting the default notification preferences, your users can choose to stick with those defaults or further customize their preferences in their profile. After choosing all of your permissions for this role, click on the Create or maybe the Update button at the bottom. Customer and vendor roles are very similar, however they have less permission options, and you can also identify which role will be the default role for each new customer and each new vendor. Once you set up all of your roles, assign your individual users to each role in your Members tab. Each user's current role is listed next to their name, and then to edit that role, you'll simply click on the current role and then select an alternative role from the drop-down list. You also have the option to view an external user's portal to verify your permissions by clicking on the small eye icon next to their name. Now, if you have any questions, please contact your customer success manager or email support@jobtread.com and we'll be sure to help.